We left the M16s at home though.
All right. Will you turn down those mics a little bit? We're checking. We're blanking it up. All right. Welcome everybody to a very special. That's good. A very special Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day.
Absolutely.
What are we wearing this Veterans Day?
Some Vietnam outfits.
So pay homage to I want to say the Forgotten War, but I think that's Korea. That's not Vietnam.
No.
The Forgotten War is Korea.
Yeah.
They probably wore similar outfits.
No.
So
They did not.
all those. We probably have some people that watch that served in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
absolutely.
service. Thank you for anyone's service who was or is currently in the armed forces. You know, we respect the sacrifice that is made.
Yeah, absolutely. You certainly have our respect. And on this Veterans Day, it's important to reflect and pay homage to those that give us the right to do what we're doing right now.
And in honor of Veterans Day, we thought we'd bring on our own veteran.
He's a veteran and a veteran backpacker.
He's a veteran backpacker and an actual veteran. So we are happy to bring on Mark from Spiguyver Backpacking. Let me bring you up on the screen, big guy. All right. Hey, man. How's it going?
What's going on?
How's it going?
It's going well. Going well.
Are you enjoying your Veterans Day?
I am. I went out for a little bit of a drive, washed the car. And
I saw you've been posting some car videos.
Car videos.
I have.
Yeah. Do you want to tell Andy what you got?
I started a second channel.
Wait, what? No, you didn't.
I did.
What?
Yeah,
well, what's the name of the channel? Let's throw it out there.
Spiguyver Supra.
Is it really?
Oh, is it a Toyota Supra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it all about Supra stuff?
Yeah, it's all about mine. Just kind of what mods I'm going to be doing to it, what mods I've done to it. So, yeah, I'm actually just uploading the second video today.
If you think the backpacking YouTube community was drama, wait till you get to the car YouTube community drama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
I did
pretty sweet.
a coffee video this morning, and
It's all YouTube for you
day.
today. Before we talk about backpacking, though, I think we talked a little bit about it when we had you on before. But give us a recap of. You have some pretty badass military service in your past. You want to? Can we talk about it?
Yeah, sure. I did 15 years, a little over 15 years, Air Force. Started out on the enlisted side and was a crew chief, a flying crew chief on the C5, turning wrenches, making sure it flew. And then it's a big plane.
Yeah.
A lot of work going on there. And usually, anytime they had a mission that was an important one, they had 2 or 3 ready to go because inevitably one was going to break and they were going to have to go to a backup. So yeah, did that for a while and then got my pilot license and got my degree and then applied for and was accepted to OTS, became a pilot and flew AWACS.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that.
Number of years. And then went back and taught on the T6. So taught new pilots how to fly formation and aerobatics, and it's a lot of fun.
Do you still? I think I know I've talked to you about this a little bit. Do you still fly?
I don't. I've gone back and forth. I flew last November. I was out in Arizona and flew. And it's weird because I could fly every day if I wanted to with my job, but
right.
There's just so much going on. I'm so busy all the time that keeping current and keeping medical and all that stuff hasn't been at the top of my priority list.
Did I tell you I have 7 hours in a Cessna 152?
You won't shut up about this.
7 hours. I did 2 landings.
Awesome.
2 landings.
Hey man, that's
2.
That's not bad.
Pretty damn thrilling when you land an airplane for the first time. I will say that is a hell of a rush. So I'm basically a pilot at this point. Just kidding. Another thing before we get back into backpacking, because we had you on during a couple of the coronavirus live streams. How's COVID been going? How's it going with you? You're out in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, out here it's been, I looked at the rankings the other day, and we're right in the middle. We're like 25th, so we're right in the middle of the country, both literally and figuratively. But there hasn't been much change here. I mean, honestly, there's like, it's kind of funny. I go to Gold's Gym every morning, and I walk in the door, and to get in, you have to be wearing a mask. But as soon as you walk past the counter, everyone takes their mask off.
Really?
So yeah, it's like they won't let you in the door without your mask, but no one wears it once they're in there working out. And it's the same thing with like restaurants. You go in, you got to have the mask on to go to your table. Once you get to the table, it comes off. But it's very much it's very relaxed here. I mean, I was in California for work down in the San Diego area not that long ago, and it was insane how strict they are with stuff. I was like, holy crap!
Yeah,
so different.
You can't sing during Thanksgiving. So if you were in California,
really,
you can't sing.
That's basically fascism.
No shouting either, by the way. And I'm not even joking.
Let's keep the no shouting rule just in general.
Yeah.
Why do people need to shout?
You're not allowed to sing. So
now singing, that's some Footloose level shit. Like no dancing. So you're back to traveling.
It would save people if it was around me, though.
So you're back to traveling for work, it sounds like?
A little bit, yeah. Still the overseas stuff is still tough. And, getting our guys in and out. We're dealing with quarantines just about everywhere. So, what was a quick movement is now weeks and weeks to get people in.
Do you know people personally that have gotten it?
My wife does. I guess I've worked with a couple of people who've gotten it, but everyone I know of that has gotten it has had zero symptoms. They've been all asymptomatic. Yeah.
That's scary. That's good. That's good. At least, you and your family haven't gotten it. We've stayed pretty clean here,
pretty clean
for the most part. But Ohio, not to talk about coronavirus, but Ohio, it is raging right now in Ohio.
Yeah.
Like we're breaking every day is a new record.
There was a press conference last night that we're getting close to capacity.
No, shit's getting serious.
Yeah.
When our governor schedules a evening press conference, which we have one tonight, that's when shit's getting serious. So like we've just been doubling the amount of hospitalizations, and like it's things are not trending the correct way in Ohio. So at least I think where you are, it might at least be. And like where, we'll get to talking about the Tahoe Rim Trail, but in Reno, where our sister lives, like it's not a big deal there. The vast majority of cases in Nevada are obviously in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And she's like, you can basically life. People wear masks, but life for all purposes is fairly normal. And it's a pretty outdoorsy town too. So most stuff is outside. But like, it's just nothing like here in Ohio where like shit's getting off the hook a little bit.
Yeah.
So literally just before this, I watched your little, reflections on the Tahoe Rim Trail. I hadn't watched that. I watched your Tahoe Rim Trail videos, but I watched, first, I didn't realize you carried that much camera gear. Oh my God.
Oh dude, it was so what's funny about that is I carried all that camera gear. The first day I was so out of it from the altitude sickness or whatever was going on there that the camera was out of focus half the damn time.
Wow.
So I'm carrying all this shit and it's a crap video. But then just this last weekend, or just this previous weekend, I went out and did a 3-day trip, all only with the GoPro Hero 8. The whole thing was with that. And people are telling me it's the best video I've ever done.
So you talked about that in that video about how you're not bringing the Sony, you're done bringing the camcorder.
No, I'm done. I'm done carrying that.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, side by side, if you do it all with, hell, I saw a guy do a video. He did the whole thing on his iPhone 11 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was outstanding. I was like, I'm carrying all this crap and his looks just as good. I'm done. I'm done carrying everything. I'll still take the drone from time to time. Now, I'll check where it's legal.
Right. So I got
careful.
I got flack for that for my TRT drone videos too. Although the first place I shot the drone, it was actually legal to have it there. It was just Desolation Wilderness. You're definitely not supposed to have drones there. I still did it, and it was worth it. The shots are sick.
I'm claiming mine were stock.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, right. I bought it. I saw you were getting flack for that. So but you're still going to consider taking the drone, backpacking?
Yeah, I wish I had taken it this past weekend. I didn't take it because the trail we were on, usually it's so like overgrown that getting it up and being able to land it again, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But everything looked, I mean, it would have been really perfect with the fall colors and stuff this weekend.
Yeah, we went out this past weekend, and I've been bringing the drone on most of the trips recently, but I don't know if I'd bring it over like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's heavy.
Yeah.
But
well, I had 5 batteries with me for the CRT. So, I mean, it wasn't just the camera equipment; it's all the damn batteries. Yeah.
You got to get up to the Mavic Air 2. You get like a 35-minute flight time on one of those batteries.
Actually, I just saw that the Mavic Mini.
I know.
That was pretty impressive.
I know. And they're claiming a 30-minute flight time, and it's like the size of like a Big Mac. I know.
Like 245 grand.
I know. I saw that too, and I was like, shit. I was like, I gotta stop buying drones. That's actually a popular drone for backpacking. Obviously, rightfully so. It's so small. So, when are you doing the TRT again? Are you gonna do it with us
next year?
You can do it with us.
I would definitely like to come out and do it with you guys. It kind of all depends on what's going on. I know that I've got a family trip that was already scheduled down to Maui. Other than that, I don't think I've got anything really planned. So, I mean, the goal right now is definitely to join you guys, finish it off, and then probably the next year go out and through hike the whole thing. So, go finish it and then do it all again, or maybe the next year do the Tahoe to Yosemite or something else out there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
How far is that?
JMT would be great. I think it's about the same. I think it's right in the 10 to 15 day range.
Okay. I didn't realize that makes sense though. There's a trail from Tahoe to Yosemite. Mm-hmm. That would be sick.
It's not great. It's not like super well marked. So it's definitely a little bit of route finding because it's not, for whatever reason, it's not a popular trail. Like you hear about, TRT, JMT, High Sierra Trail, all of those, but for whatever reason, Tahoe to Yosemite doesn't get talked about very often.
I didn't even know it existed until you just said that. So that's something to put on we're starting to put together our, I know you said you didn't have anything on the docket. We're starting right now to put together our 2021 schedule. 2020 was a shit year. So we have, other than the Tahoe Rim Trail though, which we're definitely planning on doing the whole thing next year. You should just do the whole thing with us, Mark. Then you don't have to do it. Then you don't have to go there 3 times.
Okay, you convinced me.
that was an easy sell.
How many days are you guys doing?
5 days. We're sprinting it.
I'm out.
No, I think what was your original plan? 11, 10, or 11? 11.
11. And actually, I think if we were to go back and do it, we'd probably take 12 to 13 just to.
That's what we're doing.
Just to stretch it. But
we're probably going to do 2, obviously back to back, but 2 6-day chunks.
Yep.
And then obviously go stay somewhere, resupply, spend a night, probably somewhere off trail.
No, I was good. We were going to do 3 to 4 day and then resupply.
Yeah, I mean like stay off trail.
Oh, okay. Like
yeah, so we have the luxury of having someone that lives out there. So like when we do it, like we're not taking 6 days of food with us at a time. Like if our sister's watching, she will be bringing food to us at trailheads like every 3 days. Because if you do that, I mean that's a game changer. If you only have to carry 3 versus 6 days of food, then you can bring 10 pounds of camera gear. So our plan was, do that, but then halfway through, pull off trail for a night, change clothes, shower, whatever, and then finish it up the next. So 4 resupplies, 1 night off trail. That's like kind of what we're thinking.
Man, though, fingers crossed for a better fire year, though.
Yeah,
I think it burned everything off, so there's probably no fires next year because it burned it all.
Oh, good point. It got all the undergrowth going.
So I finished the 3rd TRT video you had where you end it in Tahoe City. How pissed were you though? Like you didn't really play it out on camera. You're like, oh, it's closed and trips over.
We have to get off the trail.
How pissed were you? I'd be livid.
Like it was pretty bad because we didn't hear about this while we were on the trail.
Yeah.
We didn't hear about this when we got down into town. It wasn't until I was asking. I had gone to every damn store in that town trying to find an SD card. And I had already spent like over $100 on, like, I had my resupply waiting at the hotel we were staying at.
Yeah.
And I had already gone and spent a shitload of money on other crap I really didn't need but wanted. And then started getting these messages that, hey, you're not allowed out on the trail.
Who, like, how'd you find out?
So I was on the Tahoe Rim Trail Thru Hikers forum on or Facebook page. And I'd put up a thing saying, hey, heading back out tomorrow. If anyone has one, I'll buy it off of them if they can get to Tahoe City. And that's when the messages started popping up. Hey, by the way, it's a $5,000 fine if you get caught back out there.
That's what it was.
Like
$5,000.
$5,000.
Now, was Nevada closed too, or is it just California?
So there were 3 sections that were still open. So Mount Rose Wilderness.
Oh, that's close to our sister's place.
The Desolation Wilderness was still open, and then a small chunk in Nevada that was open as well. But they were only open to day hikes, no overnights, and you couldn't have any fires, any stove of any type, like zero, none. If you even had a stove on you, you were getting fined.
So did you consider trying to like keep going in certain areas? I guess you couldn't, right? No over. Or did you consider like waiting it out?
Were you thinking like backup plan, like go to a different state real quick?
So yeah, we actually talked about because we rented a car because we had to get back down to South Lake because that's where we had dropped off our suitcases and all of our stuff was down there because that's where we were finishing. So we rented a car to go down there, and we talked about just driving to Colorado and hitting some stuff out there.
Yeah.
And just driving home, canceling our tickets completely and just driving home. But I think we were all so pissed at that point that, like, I don't know, we were all kind of bummed. But then we went out and we hiked the next day, went up to Horseshoe Falls and kind of just climbed around and had fun and joked around. And the mood was good. So we probably should have done something where we did, but we all just kind of chalked it up and went home.
Yeah, so that's like when we planned our Colorado trail trip, when we were planning to go to the Arizona trail, when we do the Tahoe Rim Trail next year, we always have like a big fire contingency, like almost a second entire trip lined up.
Yeah.
In case like you have to pull the plug.
Yeah.
Like, cause it gets bad in Colorado too. I mean, it's not the same fires, but like there's definitely years where hiking on the Colorado Trail is dicey because of wildfires. So we have like, and we had to have a contingency because of COVID this year. You know, we had like literally in like March, we were supposed to go to Arizona in May, and March came. We're like, all right, we need a contingency now. And so then that ended up like being the, like we ended up actually doing that trip. So like we're always super paranoid. But I will say the year before when I was out at Tahoe, it was like the best. There were no fires really even close. And I guess that's atypical. I didn't realize, like, I don't know if you know, if that is a pretty bad, like perennially, is that a bad wildfire area? I think it is.
It is, but it was by far the worst they'd seen in, I think it was like 20 years. They had said that was the worst it had been. You know, and it's funny. You watch like Whimsical Woman. She was out there. She was out there like 2 weeks before us, and it was beautiful. I mean, just perfect weather. The skies were the perfect blue, just what you're expecting. And then we got out there. We had backup plans. If it wasn't going, we had a couple of backup plans that we were talking about. But about a week out, we decided, hey, all right, looks like everything's going to be good. We're going.
Did you
roll the dice and it didn't work out?
So when you set foot on the trail the first day, were you like, we're going to finish this bad boy? Or were you like, I don't know?
Oh, no. I mean, up until the night at Lake Aloha was the only time I was like, shit, this may not happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I woke up, I don't remember, it was like 1 a.m., 3 a.m. I say it in the video. My throat was sore. I couldn't stop coughing. My chest hurt. Chris woke up. He was hurting too. And it was all just from, I mean, the smoke was so trapped in that area that it just was nasty. It was bad.
Yeah, it looked. You can definitely see it. You can see the haze in your videos.
Oh yeah.
It's. I've never been anywhere close to a wildfire.
I haven't either.
So I have no idea. Like literally, our sister in Reno, there's like ash like landing in her front yard.
Yeah, that night when we woke up the next morning, I had ash all over my my bug net, all over the stuff that was sitting out. So yeah, I mean it was bad enough that there was ash floating around.
Yeah, and so like you described the feeling that night, but like throughout your hike and being exposed to that smoke, did you just feel like crap the whole time?
I had a constant cough.
Yeah.
I just and really for a couple of weeks after being home, I had that cough. A lot better now, but yeah, no, it was.
That can't be good for you.
It was not something that you should have been hiking in. I mean, yeah.
That can't be good for you.
But we were there. We'd spent the money. We had the time.
I know.
We were going to do it.
I know.
Until they told us we weren't going to do it.
$5,000. They don't screw around. Do you know of anyone that actually got fined?
No, I don't know of anybody that did.
Yeah, that would
be awful.
I'd be done hiking for sure. $5,000.
Yeah,
even if it wasn't.
No, I'm going to Tahoe City and hanging out.
Yeah, did you like Tahoe City?
Yeah, I like Tahoe City.
It's kind of cool.
Tahoe City's nice.
Yeah. You should have stayed at the Tamarack. I told you. Tamarack is.
Yeah, I didn't set up. The accommodations for up there. I set up the accommodations down in South Lake, and Chris took care of up in Tahoe City. So
yeah,
we were where we were.
I thought it was when I came into Tahoe City from the north. You came in from Desolation, so I came in from the other way. And it was just a beautiful like hike. Like you see the lake the whole time, then you get down to Tahoe City, and obviously this was a non-forest fire, non-coronavirus time. So like it was like Johnny Mosley's were everywhere.
Just getting beer.
That's where he's from. Yeah, like all the the Tahoe Mountain people were out. It was really fun. I don't know. It was cool. I was like, this is cool. This is a good time to read some life. Because we're looking at our trip next year, and we're starting to plan out, okay, like where are we going to stay and like that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
I don't know. We haven't figured out.
Any tips?
Yeah. What should we do?
It's hard to say, but I don't know. If you're feeling good, I think going counterclockwise, starting in South Lake and getting the dry section out of the way early, and then you've got the really good sections to look forward to, rather than starting like we started at South Lake. So the last section we did was going to be the dry section.
Oh, I see. So you're saying start in South Lake and hit Desolation last?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, pretty much last.
Yeah. Because people say Desolation is the best part, so I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I imagine the worst part is going up South Lake through the Nevada side, right? Like you don't know of anything cool there.
Because that's the dry side. It's the dry side. It's hotter. It's more exposed. I mean, it's like a sandy. It's like a decomposed granite is the terrain, like what you're walking on. And so it's kind of sandy and.
How dry?
That's what my fire pit is. Decomposed granite.
Sections
you want to walk through your fire pit days on end?
We'll walk around a fire pit.
We're like over 20 miles without water.
Oh shit.
Oh okay. Wow. Oh, okay. I got to carry.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
We're going to be consulting you for all sorts of questions.
We'll take you with us.
Yeah.
Like, what do we got?
Marley Peak Campground has a pump that's been out for like years, and they finally repaired it this year. So that's back to work.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's we're looking forward to that. That's a bummer though. So what do you got? What's your next? I mean, you talked about the JMT. You don't have anything on your docket. What are you going to be doing here?
So we're going to finish. Rayman and I have been knocking out sections of the Ouachita Trail. So we'll finish that probably in the next couple of weeks. We'll probably go out and I think we've got about 5 days left on it. So we'll do a 3-day weekend and then just a regular 2-day weekend. Should be done with that. that's like 223 miles total.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, are you going to ever come back out our way?
I'd like to. Yeah.
Come back out east.
You guys have COVID.
We got a bad. We
have mediocre backpacking and a lot of coronavirus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I do think that there was a plan of maybe heading up towards upstate New York, Vermont, somewhere up in there. Sometime next year as well, because I've got a couple of friends that I love hiking with, but the problem is they can't get away. Family and work, they can't they don't have the time to jump on a plane, go somewhere, spend a day traveling. So if we can go to them, it makes it a whole lot easier.
What kind of like hikes are you eyeing up there? Like for like long trail type stuff?
So Northville Placid Trail, Vermont Long Trail, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah.
I mean, we've done part of the Vermont Long Trail. It's muddy. It's buggy. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some more up in the Whites. Who knows? Yeah,
we've Andy. That whole area we've never touched, and we did a podcast with
Kyle.
with Kyle, who's up there, but also Justin from It's Good in the Woods, and he's like the Whites guy. And dude, he only winter backpacks. Did you know this about him?
Well,
it's insane.
No, he does more, but winter's his main.
He does more, but winter is his like preferred
backpacking's just started.
Backpacking season for like the mountains of New Hampshire.
Up there.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's nuts. Yeah,
it's insane. So another thing, it sounds like you had a pretty good, because I've been eyeing this too. You had a good experience with the Light AF internal framed 40-liter pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I wasn't sure after that trip. I wasn't sure because I actually had a fair amount of shoulder pain, and I really did narrow it down to it was all the weight I was carrying up front, because I had the pack, Hilltop packs with my the Sony was in there. I had spare batteries in there. I had the drone, and then I had a water bottle on one shoulder strap, the GoPro on another, and so I just had so much weight up front.
Yeah.
That it was pulling on the shoulders so bad. So last two trips I've done, I've carried nothing up front.
Oh,
no
really?
Water bottle. Well, actually, the only thing I carried is the GoPro, and then my InReach Mini. Those are the only things I've had up front. And shoulders have been great. It carries extremely well, transfers the weight to the hips just like a framed pack should. And man, I love that pack. I don't even know if I'm going to go frameless anymore, just because that one is so light.
What is it? What's the weight on it?
You'd have to ask that. I don't know.
Like, do you know how many extra ounces the suspension is?
No, it's not much.
Right? Because I have the 40, but I don't have a suspension in it, and I've been eyeing it.
Well, Chris was selling me on it too, because it's.
You can pull the suspension out. It's just
correct.
Stays that have a Velcro strap.
Yeah,
but it's not tall. It's wide, which is I like.
The other thing is, it's not that much lighter than the Z-Packs Arc Haul. It is lighter.
Yeah,
and it's just as big, I think, but it's not that much lighter. So I'm like, I don't know if I can justify. Maybe if I sold the Arc Haul, but I freaking love the Arc Haul. It's such a good pack, so I don't know. He didn't have, when we got our Light AF packs, he did not have that option. So I probably would have gone for it had he had it, because
I know you guys had talked about the difference between framed and frameless, and how it makes sense to have a framed pack.
Yeah, and, you said your pack weight was 35 pounds on the Tahoe Rim Trail.
That's probably being conservative. It was probably a little more than that.
Yeah, you can't do that in a frameless.
No.
It was a little bit ridiculous.
That's absurd.
That would hurt bad.
For me, that was a lot. It was a lot of. I carried so much food. I carried so much.
Yeah. Well, what were your plans for, like, how many days were you carrying food for? Like, what was your haul?
So 6, because we were on that first section was 6 days. So I had the food for that, and I had an extra day's worth of food just in case.
So you carried 7 days of food.
Yeah. We did that in Colorado.
Yeah, and it was It was
awful.
a ton of weight. Did you have to get so when we carried 7 days of food, we got very strategic about the food we carried, the packaging our food was in, because that's weight too. Did you just throw a bunch of stuff in there?
Yeah, I did. And to be honest, it would have been a whole lot better had I, broken things out, broken down the packaging, put them into Ziplocs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just threw it in there.
We even bulk packaged dinners. So we would put like 3 or 4 dinners in one big thing. And because now, having said that, we didn't know this at the time, but there was trash dumping stations at trailheads, which you might have had on the TRT too. The trailheads there are pretty.
We passed a couple, yeah.
But we got it. And what we do a lot now, which you can't do out there on Colorado, is we burn our trash.
Sometimes.
Depends
on what
it
is.
If you have a fire, like we've even done paper-based packaging, like for some foods, because we're even now, like if you can be strategic about being able to burn your trash. I mean, there's just some things you can't burn.
Yeah.
But like,
but you can. You can bulk package like just dehydrated stuff in like a paper bag.
And that makes a difference, man. If you're strategic about the food prep, you can shave off a decent amount of weight and bulk, or just go the Spiguyver way and just throw a bunch of stuff.
And here's a pro tip too. If you use a paper bag, a lot of times there's still oils and stuff in your dehydrated food, and that'll leach into that bag, and then use it as a fire starter.
Yeah,
bushcrafter.
Another thing you talked about.
Yeah, I used a twig stove on the last trip.
Oh, really? Do you like it?
Well, they're fun every once in a while. I was using the Chi Whiz one. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. It's like super. It's a Chi Whiz Firefly. It's like 2.5 ounces. It's like really thin, lightweight, just titanium, and it works pretty well.
We've used a twig stove once when we had to. When we went to a place that only allowed them.
We've taken it before. We've taken it after that.
They have their place. They're a pain in the ass. I mean, honestly.
I hate smell like smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like your cookware, like everything.
Soot on everything. And
soot on everything.
One pot that it only sees.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart. What inspired the twig stove?
I was on YouTube and I saw a Chi Whiz video and I was like, I haven't used that in a while.
Nice. Gear acquisition syndrome.
No. So how's the Banyan going? You ripped it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we can talk about that.
Oh, we can't talk about it. Sorry.
Yeah, well, it should be back. It should be back soon. And actually, I messaged Dutch the other day, and I was like, I miss my Banyan. I was out on that last trip, and I had I was actually in a Dutch, just a netless, just an 11-foot netless on this last trip, and I was like, man, I miss the Banyan.
You're putting on too much muscle. The Banyan can't survive the density. How much do you weigh now?
About 190.
Oh, wow. How tall are you?
5'7", 5'8".
Okay, you're a dense dude. It's like having a big rock in there.
How are those aftermarket carbon fiber poles?
Yeah, how are those working out?
They're working great. Yeah,
okay.
they're perfect. I mean, they're exactly the same size as the stock ones, and quite a bit lighter. And I've seen no issues, heard no issues. I mean, they held up. So.
Did you, after I sent you the picture of our Jimmy rigged Banyan, have you ever considered doing something like that? Save a lot of weight.
Yeah. So, like I said, there was somebody that messaged and had said that he never takes the spreader bars with him. He always finds branches or twigs and is able to carve them out into like points to go into the holes.
Yeah,
that's how he's always done it since like the 70s. And I was like, damn.
Have you considered that? You'd save a decent amount of weight.
I was like, but no.
But if you could, but honestly,
well,
the trekking poles,
you just need one tiny little attachment on the top of your trekking pole, and you could
go into the other side,
and it would be perfect. That's it.
So there were some that were made that there was like a screw-on piece.
Yeah.
That you could actually do it. I don't remember who made them. It made them like Gossamer Gear or somebody that had them a while back.
I sent Dutch a picture of our setup, and he was like, "That's pretty cool." He's like, "I have snapped trekking poles doing that though." So I think if you do it, you can't use like ultralight. We were using straight up, I'm pretty sure, aluminum trekking poles.
They were cheapo ones.
They were like cheap aluminum ones, but I think they'd be fine. But I could see if you had like carbon fiber or like super light ones, they might snap.
Yeah, we wouldn't have used mine. We would have done the stick method.
But if you could get, I was talking to him, I was like, if you could 3D print, see, he was telling me the problem with him, because I was like, have you ever considered doing something where people can use their trekking poles? Because it clearly can work. And he was like, the problem is every trekking pole is different. And it'd be really tough for us to get a universal system.
No, you just make a cup at each end, like a sil nylon cup. That's it.
But I think even the ends of all trekking poles are a little bit different.
No. Not into the metal. This is while I was engineering this out there. I was thinking about this. You just make like a silicone like cup.
Well, kind of like the cup in the Z-Pack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not a cup. I mean, well, you know what I mean. Like a
trekking pole just sits in there, and then there's like a little nub coming out the other end.
You don't even need that. Just like a pocket on each end instead of going in.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Make it happen. You could make it out of Dyneema, I bet.
Hey, all these ultralight vendors that are listening, knock yourselves out. Just name it after us.
Yeah, the SBO adapter or something. Because I was like, dude, how much?
I call it the shill spreader.
That's a fantastic name. How much do the I'm trying to remember how much the spreader poles weigh. At least 10 ounces, I think. What do the carbon fiber ones weigh?
They're like 4 ounces lighter.
Shit. Okay, that's pretty light.
4 ounces lighter.
So like 6 ounces, 7 ounces?
Yeah, if I take the Banyan out west, it's definitely, I'm not taking the aluminum ones.
Just take some sticks.
No, because, okay.
Some dude commented, some guy commented on our Instagram post and was like, dude, I used some dowel rods.
I saw that.
I was like, those would be light though. If you get thick ones.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, so you want to bushcraft some sticks or whatever. It's like, okay, I got to get to camp at noon. And then
gotta find the right sticks.
Gotta find the right stick.
Yeah. I just carry them with me the whole time. Yeah. I'd be too paranoid that I wouldn't find the right sticks. I was like, sticks. I mean, you got to have a good stick, straight, right length. You got to carve little notches into them. That would be a pain.
Man,
I was impressed with what you guys did there.
Yeah, it was all Andy. When I forgot.
No, the best is you were, because our buddy Sam was using that one, and Kevin was just like, well, Sam, I guess you're just gonna have to sleep in it like a burrito.
You just have to sleep in it like a burrito. I was like, we'll figure it out. And I was like, no way. But
this is the curse of the bridge hammock. You got to have the spreader bars.
I was trying to think how much. Then I was like, okay, I was trying to like calculate how much tension. I don't know if you know this. Dutch probably does. How much tension is. It entirely depends on the weight of the person in the hammock, but how much tension the spreader bars actually take. And they can't take that much if sticks work, you know?
Right.
So then I was like, okay, this might work, but then you just use the bear line to like jimmy rig it to it, and our buddy used it because he wanted to try the Banyan. So I'm like, I'll bring the Banyan for you. And then I got to the camp and I was like, dude, shit. I was like, they're in the car, man. So Andy like jimmy rigged that together. But then I was like, we should 3D print like an end, I guess, but your little like sil nylon caps might be a better idea.
Yeah. But if Dutch is saying it's snapping trekking poles, I'm not.
Well, I could see it snapping a carbon fiber. Those are aluminum poles.
Well, he's got carbon fiber and they're working fine.
That's true, but they're rods, I guess. When you got those spreaders, was that company already making them for the Banyan, or did you contact them? I think I asked you this. Did you contact them, and were you like,
I was the first one that asked for them.
Okay.
So they make them for the Ridge Runner, and I think the dimensions are pretty damn close.
Like, so you didn't have to send them yours?
No, I sent them just the dimensions.
Okay. I was curious how that. I was like, is there really a big market for aftermarket Banyan parts? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, since he's already making them for the Ridge Runner, it was easy. I just gave him the length, and he made them exactly what I needed.
Have you laid in a Ridge Runner ever?
I have. Yeah, I've got a couple of videos. I did I think it was a 1 or a 2 night trip with one that I had borrowed. And I didn't like it.
Right.
It was okay. It was okay, but it wasn't life changing, which is weird because dimension wise, it should be pretty damn close to the Banyan. And I don't know why I like the Banyan so much more.
I've been really impressed with how well the Banyan takes various different underquilts from a bunch of manufacturers.
I freaking love the Banyan. It is so comfortable. And now I got a problem where I don't have I need to get a better pillow now because it's so flat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you do need more of a pillow in it. That's right. You can't use the what do you use as a pillow in it?
I've got a couple different ones, but I was using like what did I take on that trip? I don't even remember. But I've got a memory foam one that a guy down in Texas sent me, and that one works pretty well because it's I don't know 3-4 inches thick.
Oh, that's a good idea. Probably packs down pretty small.
It's like the shape of like a dog bone, so it's pretty small. It's probably that big, but yeah, it works well.
I also got a kick out of you talking about how you regretted wearing a white shirt out there because it's so dusty, dude. It's so dusty. I was like, you had to have known that.
Yeah, but then you look like hiker trash. Then
it's true. You get a nice patina look to it. You get a nice little patina. Kind of does look good.
It's still got that. It's been washed a few times. It's still got it.
So was your total section from South Lake to Tahoe City?
Yeah.
Okay. So you still got a decent chunk of that trail left.
Yeah, from where we started to where we got off, it's right around 100, right at 100.
So you did 100 miles?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Damn. Good for you guys. So you only have like 60 or 70 something left. Okay.
Yeah. About 70. I know it says it's like 165, but I think most people are clocking like 178.
Do you know other people that did the whole thing this year?
Yeah, like
the Whimsical Woman did it. That's right.
Yeah, Whimsical Woman did, and then I was talking with another guy who did it in I think late June. And had some snow, but
I was gonna say that's the one thing about that trail is the through hiking season for it is pretty damn short. Like I don't know, they did it in June.
It was late June. Like I think they finished up 4th of July weekend or 4th of July.
First off, the bugs I bet.
You might be right
bugs.
before bugs.
Yeah.
How were the bugs?
I don't remember.
The bugs were pretty bad when I was out there. Were they good when you were there?
Bugs.
That was probably the smoke. Smoke probably helped you there.
Well, probably.
We the bugs when I was there, because I was there at the exact same time of the year you were, a year before you, and the bugs were actually pretty bad. And I've been told that they're not great up there, generally speaking.
Wonderful.
I know. When we did the Colorado Trail, I didn't see a single bug the entire time we were there.
I know. It was nice.
I know. It was fantastic. All right. Well, we're pulling for you, man. That was sad. It was sad to, when I texted you, I didn't realize you had gotten off when I texted you. I was like, how's it going? And you're like, we're done. Shit. He's like, we're drinking in Tahoe City. I was like, well, yeah, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Any other gear, new gear acquisitions or anything fun to talk about gear wise?
That Superior hammock stuff, the Superior gear, they're
Yeah.
integrated one. They're actually making me a new one because I've got their old one, and I've got it in they do both 10-foot and 11-foot. So the one that they had sent me originally was a 10-foot, and I really was like, it's a little small, even for me. So I talked with them about doing the 11-foot, and at the same time they were talking, like other people were hitting them up after seeing my video asking for something a little bit lighter. And so they went with lighter fabrics. They went with the, I think, 950 fill power, and they're calling it the Elite Series. And so it's lighter, and what I loved about it was instantly warm. Like you get in it, and there's no air gaps. There can't be any air gaps because it's attached. And so it's nice. And so there's no fiddle factor to it. It's for someone that's getting into it and is only going to do it, shoulder season to summer, a 30 degree is perfect.
Yeah.
And so, they do a 30, a 15 and a 0. But I think that 30 is great. So I've got another one coming. I'll do a review on, and that'll be one that I use certain parts of the year, but it'll mainly be like a loaner that I'll use for people that don't have everything set up already.
How much does it weigh? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it was like 30. I think it was like 32 ounces was
That's
the
not
one that I've
bad.
got
With the
So
underquilt. Yeah.
kind of heavy.
When
Kind of heavy, but
I don't think that's that bad.
it's not bad at all. And in fact, when we got into hammocking in like 2015, I think 2015 or 2016, and I was like, my first thought was, why doesn't anyone make a hammock with an underquilt attached to it? It made no sense to me that it didn't exist, because it would be lighter, it would be easier. I get that you lose some versatility because it is nice to be able to have differing underquilts, but I was like, this is a no-brainer to me. Like, would there be no fiddling? So, and I've never even laid in one. It looks pretty sweet though. I mean, so
yeah.
is that the way to go? Sounds like it.
I think it's an awesome way to go, just because. I mean, how many times have you had gaps?
It's so annoying.
Or a wind comes up and gets. There have been certain underquilts that I messed with for 6-7 trips trying to get it right, and still had cold spots. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" This one was just dead simple. You got in it and it was warm.
Well, I will say the Banyan, when it comes to underquilt and fiddling, is just it's almost non-existent.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with how we have put Enlightened equipment. First off, I meant to tell you about this Enlightened equipment underquilt we got. They sent us like a minimalist underquilt called the Uprising. I was like, Mark would be into this.
It's nice.
It's they basically took a regular underquilt and they made it so it doesn't go up as much on the sides.
Okay.
So it's perfect for the Banyan. It fits on there perfectly, and it's
really?
Oh yeah, and it's like. I think the 20-degree full length weighs 16 ounces.
No, it was closer to 19.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a full length 20-degree, and they just cut off some of the sides, so it's like their minimalist underquilt. But he put it on the Banyan. That's what you use on the Banyan now.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna go with that. It's awesome.
But we put the UGQ ones on there, the Enlightened, multiple Enlightened equipments, and it's so simple. You don't even have to fiddle with it. You just put it on the little rungs, and it's like, I don't know. I've been really impressed with that.
Yeah,
because that was the one thing.
The best one is that Local Libre one I've got.
Yeah, I know you use that.
It was cut for it. I mean, but the problem with using like my UGQ ones is they come up, and so they cut off my view. Mm-hmm. With that one, with it being cut with it, oh man, it's great.
Yeah, that EE
George
one does
just for it.
That's why that Uprising one is really good for it, because they probably took off 5 inches on each end, so it literally just comes up perfectly to the cusp of the Banyan. And they sent us a purple one. I was like, whatever.
I don't care.
Looks good on the black.
Yeah.
Although yours is gray. I don't know. But that was one thing I was really impressed with. I hadn't tried an underquilt other than a UGQ underquilt on that hammock ever. And then we got these EE ones, and I was like, oh, there's something here. And I didn't realize that that you have one that's cut specifically for the Banyan. I actually didn't know that existed. That's a heads up play.
But see, like some of the other bigger, like the other underquilt that Sam was using on the Banyan, which was like
the Revolt.
The Revolt, it sagged way down
because it was too big. I mean, it's a huge.
So are you gonna create, like, if it's cold out, are you creating just a big air pocket under there that you're gonna have trouble warming up?
Probably, yeah.
Have you damaged a tarp with your Banyan?
I have not, and
I've hit mine a couple times.
You put a little mark.
I put a mark in mine, not a hole.
I had it up against my Cuban one, and it hasn't. I haven't had any problems yet. So.
I put a little, not a hole, a little scrape in there though. That freaked me out. So now when I use it, I will literally tie it off so all 4 ends are elevated, because I'm super paranoid about it. I call it atrium mode. I'll tie off to trees and use trekking poles, because I got in there, and maybe, I don't know, I just like aggressively got in there, but I hit it and I heard it and I was like, shit. 'Cause it was the Light AF, like, big ass tarp that's like super nice with doors.
Yeah.
And I have actually been impressed with how you can use doors with the Banyan hammock. You can stake those out pretty cool in cool ways. I don't know. I was just curious though if you'd ever, because you've used the Banyan way more than me, and I've gotten into some dicey, and you told me that before buying it. You're like, the tarp can get a little sketchy.
And
definitely. So I'm probably going to end up with a tarp that's built around it.
Like for it?
Yeah, like wider, with the pullouts in the right spot so that it clears it. and the doors set up so that they can actually close correctly. I know Dutch was talking about.
I was say, does someone make one?
And, well, Hammock Gear now asks the question when you're buying the Winter Palace. If you go with I think the 12-foot Winter Palace, they actually ask if it's for a bridge because they put the tie outs in different places.
But Dutch is flirting with.
Yeah, I know that's one he's talked about. He's got the double wide one out there that works well, I think. But I think he was talking about doing one specifically for the bridge.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was sketchy about that hammock was.
Yep.
You don't want to put a hole in a $300 or $400 carbon fiber tarp.
They make patches.
I know. True. I'd be so pissed though. It's like shit.
Oh yeah.
Because you do it when you're getting into the hammock. I don't know. And the way you do, he hangs his banyan, which I think is the way to go. He hangs it super tight. Do you do that?
Definitely tighter than
a regular gathered end, right?
That's how. I mean, that's how I get the correct tension on like the dog bones and stuff that's holding up the bug net. So it's so easy to set up.
I know, and I actually like the pad in there. I never slept with the pad in there.
Why?
It's so flat. It's so flat.
It is, but you got to make sure you don't have one that's like 3.5, 4 inches thick like mine, because that raises that.
I know. It gets a little sketchy. I know. It does feel a little tippy. You're like, ooh, shit. Have you ever come close to falling out of it?
Not that one. No.
Have you fallen out of it?
Yeah. Not that one.
This question actually came up on the last trip. I've never fallen out of a hammock. I think the tighter you get them, the more prone you are to falling out of them. And if you lay in the center rather than diagonal, I think that's where people end up falling.
Yeah, that would make sense.
They don't understand. I mean, I've never been on. So this last weekend we did this 3-day trip, Eagle Rock Loop, and the last 3 times we've done it, I could probably count on both hands the number of people we saw combined.
Oh wow!
This trip we probably passed 110 people.
Ew.
Wow!
But
why?
I have no idea why. I think COVID. Everyone's out because of COVID doing this kind of stuff. But so many different hammocks out there, and like the first day, it was all legit hammocks, like legit hammocks being hung. I was like, wow.
Like no Enos.
And well, day 3,
the Enos came out.
Enos and shit hammocks that were hung way too tight, way too close. I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
That's the only, when we go out in Ohio, that's the only type of hammock we see.
Yeah.
But
we don't see real hammocks.
But I'm not seeing people sleep in them.
I've seen some people in them.
No, I remember one time we did see somebody attempt to sleep in it, and about 2 a.m. they packed up and went home.
But I've never seen a real hammock. Have you?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Which is crazy.
We passed. I mean, I remember passing somebody in Dolly Saws, and we were talking about dream hammocks.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, talking about it, but I've never like walked by camp like, oh, there's a really nice dream hammock set up, or like something like that.
You don't see it.
It's weird, and like kind of like similar to what you were saying. We were out this weekend.
What about Wisconsin when it was all just nice hammocks?
I know. That's the flip side. When we go on the YouTube trips, it's like all like $500 setups minimum. Yeah. But we were out this weekend, and it was a 75-degree day, and it was literally like a line of people on the trail.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was awful.
Yeah.
So irritating. So I don't know if it was COVID or the weather or like whatever. But
we were talking with people, and like all the national parks. Going out to the different parks in Utah, like normal trailheads that are kind of off the beaten path that normally that's what people go to get away, have like miles of cars parked along the side of the road. And it's stupid. I mean, it's like, it's cool that everyone's getting out, but stay the hell out of where we want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? It's super annoying. I saw who was showing us some pictures of a trailhead. Oh, who was that? And there were cars just lined up. I think it was Dolly Sods. And there were cars like for a mile.
Oh, that was the Adventure Archives video.
Yeah, the new one. We watched an Adventure Archives video, and there were just like literally a mile of cars. I think it's just people have been cooped up all summer and spring. And Yes, this is why winter backpacking's awesome. You know, those people won't be out there in the winter. You know that.
That's true.
Are you looking forward to doing some winter backpacking?
I am. I'm looking forward to it being a little bit cooler.
Yeah. We're talking about this year how this is our third season of doing winter backpacking, and we're finally to the point where we kind of know we at least know what gear to bring to make it comfortable. And I'm looking forward to winter backpacking.
Yeah.
You know, no people, you know, I don't know, nothing to worry about other than dying in the cold.
Yeah, other than dying.
So last thing I wanted to talk to you about quickly, because you were talking about people getting their earth sacks shredded. So when I was in Tahoe,
by bears?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in Tahoe, what the rangers told me, which I did anyway, because I'm always paranoid about bears wherever I go, is I hung my earth sack. Were the earth sacks you talking about getting shredded, were they hung like an earth sack, or were they hung like I hung my earth sack like a bear bag?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is we saw, if you go onto Facebook and go to the Tahoe Rim Trail Through Hikers thing, get on there and just scroll through and take a look at some of the pictures. There are, it's always desolation wilderness.
Yeah.
But there are probably 10 a year that they're showing shredded. And I was thinking, that's the older ones. It's not the new ones. No, it was the Ursac Almighty or Ursac, whatever, the Ursa Major or whatever the hell it is that I've got. So it's the same one. It's the new one. It's the black one.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Absolutely shredded. I was like, holy crap. You know, we saw it before we went. We saw it after we went. And I still did mine. I just hung it up in a tree, just normal way. But we didn't have any issues. You know, there were absolute dumbasses out there that's probably why we didn't have a problem, was because they were,
the bears were feasting on their food.
Well, so we got up to Lake Aloha, and I wanted to say something to this guy, but he was drunk and with a bunch of friends, and they had cooked dinner and they cooked too much.
Nice.
And they walked up a hill and just were dumping their food just on the ground.
Really?
On the ground?
You saw him doing this?
Oh yeah, I saw him doing it.
At least you know that's the bear magnet. At least you know the bears are going there.
That's what I told the guys. I was like, well, we know if they're coming, that's where they're going, because it's easy pickings there.
When I was there, the ranger was like, they're straight up carrying people's bear canisters away from camp. So I was like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do? You know? And they're like, if you have an earth sack, just hang it. I'm like, I'm hanging it anyway. But I'm like, what do you do if you wake up and your bear vault is gone?
You're hiking to town.
Yeah. Hopefully some dumbass is cooking like a steak somewhere close by, so the bears are just going there. That's so stupid. The bear activity is so high there.
Well, and so's in that general area, I know why they do like the zones up there.
Yeah.
And only a certain number.
Right.
Because people are just idiots. And you get too many of them up there. Some of the conversations we heard of drunk people, 2 a.m. having, about to fight over a girl that was there, shit like that. It's like, this is dumb. You guys are idiots.
Yeah, that's funny. When I was not able to grab a pass for Lake Aloha. We got it for the China Flats area, which is just north of there. So we weren't able to camp there, but the camping there looked pretty sick, and but I could see how that would be the most popular place to camp in the desolation wilderness. Yeah, that's sweet. So we're looking forward to it next year. The invitation's open, Mark, to come with us. We're pretty fun to hike with.
We do about 4 to 5 miles a day.
We do more than that, but we on that trail. That's not that's not going to be a 20-mile day trail for us.
No.
I did 14 when I was there, and that was like, I'm good. I'm good with that.
I hear you.
All right, dude. Thanks for talking to us, man. Yeah. This was fun.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
No, so one of these days we'll go backpacking with you. We almost had it. We almost had it, and then COVID came, and we'll do something. And thank you for your military service, sir.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day. All right,
thank
dude.
You, everyone else out there.
Yeah. All right, man. See you, dude.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. That was fun.
Yeah, sorry
Good
about
to talk to Mark.
we
We didn't look at the comments at all.
Not only
sorry,
and actually, I tried to look at the comments, but they're not showing up for me on my phone.
Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
No, they were on there, and it would like pop up, and then it would go away. So
we try not to, let the comments distract us from talking to good old Mark. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
All right. Last shout out. Remember to rate us on iTunes. I got to keep saying that. Rate us on iTunes.
Positive or negative, whatever.
If you're listening this long and you've done the whole podcast, which not many people do,
click the little star icon.
Click. It doesn't even have to be 5 stars. It can be whatever you want. Happy Veterans Day, people. Yes. Thank you to all the military members and their service. We greatly appreciate it. We, I don't want to go on a patriotism tangent here.
But goddamn, America's amazing.
We live in the best country on the planet. And, we know that requires sacrifice and
sacrifice and
there's a lot of nonsense going on with politics right now that we're not going to get into, but we can all rally behind the people that serve in our armed forces.
Yes.